Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here, will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind. The guy with the mask on his face. No, mankind. That word should have new meaning for us all today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be unified in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, and persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We are going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Bill Pullman couldn't have done it any better himself. Bill Paxton neither.
All the bills in the world.
All the bills.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show. It's the 4th of July, baby.
Yeah, and Chris.
Welcome to Earth.
Chris will attempt to get this published on the 4th of July.
Oh, attempt. Do or do not. There is no try.
You have not failed us yet.
Have you ever tried to send a? What happens? No. I got the joke wrong. All right. Why can't you send a photo to a Jedi? I said do or not, do or do not. There is no try. That's my segue.
I understood.
Okay, so why is it that you cannot send photos to a Jedi?
Why is that?
Because attachments are forbidden.
Oh, because that's what the Jedi Council says when they still existed.
I sense much fear in you.
In me?
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Well, here's a more logical one of a thing of progression or whatever it is you're talking about. Chicken leads to egg. Egg leads to omelet. Omelet leads to fecal urgency.
Oh, I like that.
That was
in the first cut, right? That was when it was the journey of the wills.
No, that was from Mr. Plinkett.
Mr. Plinkett.
Yes.
Not Mrs. Plinkett. She don't do eggs.
The Red Letter Media guys.
Oh, yes. I am familiar with their work, but not as much as I should be.
You should be. You should watch more of it when the kids aren't around.
Apparently, I'm also supposed to be familiar with Hamilton at this point, but I am not.
That's a thing that I don't understand.
Well, you're not a music theater person.
No, very far from it. And I keep on hearing about it, and it's the Broadway sensation Hamilton. And my only association with Hamilton is initially was the $10 bill. And there back when they were talking about
when he shot a dude.
No, yes, what was it? Own bull.
I'm not giving up my shot. I guess is this thing I'm supposed to say there, which would be a reference that Hamilton fans would get.
Okay, so the
I'm not giving up my $10 bill.
The $10 bill. There was talk of putting a woman on the $10 bill.
I've heard,
and since Hamilton hit on Broadway, then people now don't want Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one that
Treasury dude.
Yeah, started the Treasury, U.S. Treasury. So it makes sense that he's on money.
Yes.
But he's a dink. Because my other reference to Alexander Hamilton is the John Adams miniseries.
That's right, which was my suggestion for what we should watch today at the 4th of July with the family around.
Wow, they would have been like, what?
Oh, they would have been great. The great America. And it's in all its glory.
Well, he spent a lot of time in France, and he was sick.
That's true. Yeah, my dad hates Adams. My dad, Jefferson man all the way. Talks about, and it was a thing enough that like when I was a kid,
But they were best friends. They were besties.
They were frenemies. I think frenemies. I think is the word that's more appropriate there.
Didn't have a romance.
They did not have. Well, they might have had a bromance and it turned into frenemies.
I don't understand why.
There was some time in France there. Things happen in France.
I really don't understand how your dad could like Jefferson when Jefferson likes black people so much.
Well, Jefferson likes certain things with black people, right?
Right.
I mean, Jefferson, just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, yeah. But my dad was, Jefferson swore Jefferson was like one of the best things, one of the West presidents of the United States. I guess he kind of was one of the West presidents because he did the Louisiana Purchase.
Yes, he bought a lot of land, and
he bought it. He didn't steal it for.
Yes, he bought it, but he also in the process put us in crazy amounts of debt.
Sure, yeah.
Which we somehow dug our way out of by the late 1990s.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Oh, I don't want to go into it.
No. I mean, it's the 4th of July. America.
Yes.
America the beautiful. Make America great again.
See, now I keep on seeing Trump signs, and I did mention it before that I'm sort of have a morbid curiosity to see what would happen with the Trump presidency.
Yes.
And it's no longer like kind of like an idea of what would happen. I know that it would be terrible and it would screw a lot of things up.
Oh, no, Steve. It will be terrible. Not it would be. It will be.
Wow.
Let's get used to the idea now.
Yeah, it'll make,
which is what I've been saying all along.
It'll make an interesting 4 years for the podcast, I think. But what I'm thinking is that we will eventually make America great again, because from the shit ashes we will rise again like the great phoenix.
Yes, isn't it great? Phoenix. Isn't it great when you shit ashes? It's my favorite.
Well,
my kid was trying to explain to me what constipation is today on the way to the 4th of July.
Which kid?
My older kid. She I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was my older kid. She did not say shit. Were you not listening? I was listening, but it wasn't that she was saying to shit ashes. It was when your poop was small. That was her understanding of. I don't know if it was from a health teacher or it was from like a grandparent. That a conversation I was not present for. But apparently, in her estimation, that you're constipated when your poop gets small.
Oh. See, it's always been the exact opposite for me. It's not been when my poop is small. It's been when my poop is too big and can't fit out my butthole.
I think mine's been a little bit of both, because I'll when I'm constipated, which is this is wonderful, riveting topic for the beginning of the show. I mean, but we are talking about America.
Yes, and
which is a piece of shit.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, there are great things.
Our piece of shit great again.
No, there are great things about this country, and you can't deny that. Like we live in a fantastic world in comparison to other parts of the world. I can't deny that. I also can't deny what we did to people to get to the place that we're. Yes, but like
People
everybody that was in
States.
any sort of power, like anywhere, like did a lot of shitty things. The guys that just went through the Brexit, they were like declaring their independence from the European Union.
We started that first Brexit, 1776. Today.
No, we were, but no, Brexit was the British exit. That's basically what that portmanteau.
I am aware.
Is based on, but the thing is like.
Stupid people on Facebook were trying to start the meme that 1776 was the first Brexit.
No, the first.
I know.
We were colonists that were sick of paying taxes.
Right.
That is the long and short of it.
And the British believe that they are people who are now being colonized and sick of paying for money for the people who are coming in and colonizing them. Colonizers don't like to be colonized, Steve.
Yes, I know. But the thing is, like, they're the ones that were the world power for a fuck ton of time,
and now they're afraid of all the immigrants.
They overreached. They were like, "Oh, let's go to India and China and a bunch of other freaking places. Let's go to North America, or I guess just America."
Just America.
America.
They didn't go to South America. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, the Spanish were there and they would have gotten fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you don't have Elizabeth around, just don't have the.
This is us talking about history, so we're probably getting a million things wrong.
Once you don't have once you don't have Kate Blanchett around to rally the troops, I think you don't take on the Spanish anymore.
I never saw the movie. What movie?
Kate Blanchett, I think, plays Elizabeth in Elizabeth and in Elizabeth the Golden Age.
Wow, there was a sequel?
There was a sequel, yeah.
I don't know.
They're both on Netflix right now.
I'm not watching either of them.
I've watched both of them. They are riveting pieces
and yet
of
you have not watched any of like the Red Letter Media Star Wars
I've watched
reviews.
Some of them.
Well, watch them all.
When do I have time to do that? I gotta.
When you are wasting your time watching Elizabeth and Into the Darkness.
Not wasting. Into the Darkness.
Is that what the second one was called?
No, it's called The Golden Age.
Oh.
It's the opposite of Into the Darkness.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. I thought it was the Star Trek movie.
To wrap back around to what we were talking about, my poop.
Oh yeah, we are talking about feces. Sorry, we were talking about politics for a second, and then we'll just wrap it back around to doo-doo.
Because it all does circle back around because politicians are full of shit, as we know.
Yes, so they
are constipated. Their poops are really small.
What we really
And
need
hard.
is some sort of like somebody to be injected into the political system that's like the equivalent of a suppository to get the bullshit out of these.
You could inject Hillary Clinton right into my femoral artery. That would be fantastic. But until you invent a lunch gun, wait.
What?
I'm getting all mixed up. I ate too much food today, and I think tomorrow.
And you're mixing up more than metaphors.
More than metaphors. I think tomorrow I'm going to have some super small, super hard shit.
You just need to see. I gave you a glass of water.
You gave me the water.
You can drink that now, like during the show, and then after the show's over, drink another glass before you go. You may have to pee immediately when you get home.
Okay.
But like the more water you have in your body, the less hard as rock your shit is going to be.
Well, immediately after realizing I'd eaten too much, I went right to drinking water.
Good.
And then I started to feel sick, and I had to lay down.
And then that's why I got a text. Like,
so you got to text at like
Jesus,
5:45.
Is he ever gonna call? Is he ever gonna get? Are we ever gonna do this?
Yeah, no, yeah, and I feel bad because it's late.
It's fine. It's not that late.
I mean, it's yeah.
We did a whole bunch of jack shit today.
A whole bunch of jack shit. Is jack shit more fun than regular shit? Can we stop talking about shit?
Yes, we could.
We could.
Let's do it.
Let's stop talking about shit. Let's talk about America.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
That's what we were talking about. I went to I went to many things over the last couple of days that have to do with America.
Because it is the 4th of July weekend.
The 4th of July weekend.
It's always disappointing that when the 4th of July is typically people get the 4th of July out. This is one of those holidays that you typically have off if you are a working stiff. And like it sucks when the day after you have to go to work because like if your town or whatever has a fireworks display or if if you're going, if you're unaware of where we're located in the greater Boston area. So if you want to go down to the
Cradle of Liberty
Esplanade and watch, go to the Hatch Shell, isn't that where they have
that is where the explosions happen?
Yeah. So if you wanted to go down to the Cambridge Boston line and watch things blow up in the sky, and if they were doing that tonight, then you're going to be fucked tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Either you take the day off, which I think like a fuck ton of people do.
Probably.
And like I imagine this coming week at work, it's going to be like a ghost town.
I would imagine. Stephanie had Friday off, this past Friday off. She has today off, and she has this coming Friday off. So she's kind of. Yeah, and then she works at a child care center. So if that is kind of the model or just like the baseline, they don't get a ton of time off. So yeah, I imagine everyone's going to kind of be taking it easy this week, in the words of Glenn Frey.
Glenn Frey?
Glenn Frey.
Who's that?
Take it easy. He's standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
Oh, that fucker!
It's such a fine sight to see.
I don't like that song.
There's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me.
I really don't like that song.
At me, Steve.
I remember one time
what the fuck's wrong with her that she's slowing down to take a look at me?
Can we stop talking about Glenn Frey? I remember one time I was driving home, and this was back like when I was driving around my Nova. So it was sometime
The
in
1970s?
the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
It was a Nova Corolla from 86.
A Nova Corolla.
Okay, so
How does that happen?
in the mid 80s,
a Nova and a Corolla really love each other.
no. In the mid 80s, Toyota and Chevrolet had a sort of joint venture.
A love child, if you were.
Basically.
If you will. Okay.
So the Nova was that sort of, they had a different plant where they were creating like a carbon copy, literally, of the Nova.
Yeah.
Or not the Nova, the Corolla.
Yes.
And just putting the Chevy Nova label on it.
Oh, okay.
But they were building it in America. And I think there was this helped like
sounds
Toyota like get sort of like cars built in the United States under the
Traitors.
Chevy label, but like
So it's
also
all Chevy's fault, is what you're saying.
what
The downfall of the American auto industry.
the downfall of the American auto industry happened prior to this, I think. And so they were making Toyotas at this plant, but calling them Chevrolet. So I had a Chevy Nova, but it was basically a Toyota Corolla
I get
of
it
that
now.
same year.
Okay. It was masquerading.
Yes.
It was what's the word? It was passing.
Yes.
It was a Corolla. It was
Yes.
trying to pass as a Nova. It was trying to pass as an American.
Yes.
It had fake papers.
It had legit papers.
It drove over the wall.
The wall?
The wall. Oh wait, that hasn't happened yet. Too early.
Are you pretending that you're from the future?
There's a line from a movie I saw this weekend.
What movie did you see
I
this
saw
weekend?
Batman versus Superman: The Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition. And
Did you,
in that,
you saw it in the theater, and we did talk about it, right?
Yes. So I don't need to talk about it anymore. But there's a moment in which the Flash comes to Batman in maybe a dream, but maybe it's not a dream, and he says, "Oh, am I too early?" Who knows what the fuck that means? The Ultimate Edition is a much better version of the movie, but the movie still has its problems. Anyway, as we saw earlier with Hillary, I'm mixing not just metaphors, but I'm crossing the streams in my brain, and so sorry.
Okay, so I was driving home.
You were driving a Chevy Nova.
Yes, and I was just on a late night drive because back in the late 90s, gas was not like
Just 99 cents.
it was less than that in some places. So I could fill up my tank for like less than $10 sometimes. Like if it was bone dry, it would cost me
Yeah.
$10 to fill up my
Right.
tank.
What a time that was.
Yeah, but I was also not working because I had quit my job because I didn't give a shit, or I was working at some really shitty job. So the money wasn't really
Right.
flowing in.
But-
so it was
but
good that gas was
good.
that
It was
cheap.
good that it was cheap. Yeah. Always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I was driving home, and then I forget what the song was. You might have to look it up, but it's like the end of the song is just repeating over and over. I'm getting closer to my home. So it was like I'm getting closer to my home.
Interesting.
And I don't know what the damn song was, but
getting closer
I
to my
refused to turn it off. And then it
Oh.
was weird. I drove I pulled into my spot in front of my dad's house, which was where I lived at the time.
Yeah.
And right when I got home, that song was over, and I was like, "That's really weird." And that's just one of those coincidences that you notice because things like that happen.
Yeah. It's
But coincidences are, in fact, your mind playing tricks on you and saying that
You see-
Donald Trump is great. I'm mixing things up too.
Make America great again.
Make America great.
Great.
They should have Tony Tiger.
Tony Tiger. I believe the band you were looking for is Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk Railroad.
I'm your captain / closer to home. Does that sound right?
It's a really fucking long song.
Yeah, it's, I'm your captain, though I'm feeling mighty sick. Everybody listen to me and return me my ship. I'm your captain, yeah. I'm your captain, yeah. I'm getting closer to home.
It's a really, really long song.
Yeah.
but it's like,
sounds it.
Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk Railroad's what we're going to all get on when Mr. Trump deports all of us over the border because we're not American enough.
What? He can't do that.
You think he cares?
No, but the thing is, like, no matter what, like, any sort of presidential candidate says, I mean, like, you know, you and I, at least, probably, maybe not everybody, got behind Obama back in 2008, and, you know, he was promising the world, and we were all like, yeah, that's great, it's going to be great, but, you know, as much as, like, you know, he's better than what the alternative would have been,
right?
Especially if fucking, what's his butt had died in office.
Oh, yeah. Who
ran against Obama?
McCain.
McCain. If he had died in office, that fucking moron as president.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
I mean, like, I try not to be that much of a jerk when I talk about the political opposites, but like Sarah Palin is
Governor Palin. I'm sorry. I should treat her with
Governor
respect.
Palin is a fucking dunce. And like, I just I think that's what
almost as dumb as Governor Bush to steal
the thing is.
George
Governor
Carlin.
Bush had a little bit of charm to him. President
loves to play dress up.
Whatever. So, but the thing is, like, I think Governor Palin was what lost McCain the election.
Yeah.
Like, if he had picked a better running mate, I think he might have won.
Right. Well, on the fact
not that I wanted him to,
the fact
but I
that
think he probably would have. He might have fared better if people weren't like completely shitting themselves that this person that is the vice president of that could have been the vice president of the United States was a fucking certifiable dolt.
Well, and of course, the fact that he revealed himself to be a politician, which was part of his appeal, is he didn't seem to be a politician, right? And that was always part of the appeal of McCain, as far as I saw it, was he was not an outsider at all, but he was not your typical politician, and then he just totally towed the party line once he got to be the nominee, and ever since then has, like, I think he endorsed fucking Trump. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that douche nozzle? Like, this was a guy that I actually had some respect for back then. I didn't agree with everything that he said, but man, what a fucking idiot. And by the way, for the record, in the primaries in 2008, I didn't vote for Barack Obama. I voted for Hillary.
Well, yeah, you have told me on several occasions that you've done that, and I don't know if I would. Did I? Actually, I didn't even get to vote in the primary because it was a weird time of when I was moving
back
moving either to or from North Carolina.
I can't remember if that was the 2000 election or the 2004 election where I had that problem.
Because you had just moved.
I had just moved, and
but I managed to move. Like, I managed to vote in the presidential election that year.
Right.
Like, because I was officially back here at the time.
Yeah.
But I hope no one like falsely used my vote down there. I don't know how shit like that works. Like,
yeah, I don't know either.
How do they take you off the rolls if you're registered someplace else?
I don't know. Yeah, I've never been sure how that works either, because I don't recall that you have to tell your former polling place that you're not there anymore.
Because I didn't.
Yeah. My guess, I mean, the way that it should work is that I registered in Massachusetts last year when I got my driver's license, and that Massachusetts should send something up to New Hampshire where I lived based on my social and say, look, he's not allowed to vote there anymore. That's
because if they don't do that, like, there could be like crazy amounts of actual voter fraud.
Actual voter fraud. Wow. Like, we would,
like, if anybody moves, like, if you have the wherewithal, I mean, for you it wouldn't be like too hard to drive back up to New Hampshire and vote twice.
Right.
But like, if I had the wherewithal, I could have taken a flight down to North Carolina and voted again. Well, it didn't really matter because he actually did win North Carolina without my.
Was it, Obama or Bush?
I think it was Obama.
Yeah. Republican town committee was in the parade in Chelmsford today, but not the Democratic town committee. They had a booth down at the town common the night before. The Democrats did. But with a really old, this had to be a prop that they must have been bringing out for the last 16 years. They had a booth that said on it, a voting booth, standing right outside of their bigger booth. This is an actual Florida voting booth. And I didn't get close enough to see what the hell the point was. Obviously, the point was from 2000. This is how fucked up it was. And they just must keep trotting that out every year. And
I've gone to the Chelmsford 3rd of July thing.
Yeah.
And check that. I never saw that. Maybe
I don't know. I mean, it's generally. I don't want to disparage it. It's generally a very pleasant evening. You know, there's lots of booths. There's a couple things for the kids. The band is playing on the grass, and then there's the art show.
You can get some lemonade or a sausage.
It's a pretty good.
Stare at Chelmsford's giant erection.
Yeah, right there, right on the lawn.
I don't. Anybody out there like?
If you do a search,
where you grew up, like, do you have like a town monument that looks
a town erection?
Do you have a town monument that looks as much like Chelmsford's town monument? Go online if you're really bored at work today.
Yes,
and check out Chelmsford.
I think if you go to the Wikipedia monument page for Chelmsford,
I think it's probably the first thing on the picture
image.
there.
Yeah.
It's just a giant penis, and like I understand we got like the Washington Monument, giant pointy penis.
Yes.
But like,
do you think that's what Washington
send in your emails, and we'll post them on our Twitters or whatever, so everybody can see your town's giant erection.
I mean, is that a thing? You know, like there's Jefferson's is like short and round and stubby, like his monument. Washington's big, fat, skinny, long, pointy
and long.
Cock. What does Lincoln's look like?
Lincoln's
I don't think it's not dissimilar.
I don't think it's
from
cock shaped at all.
No.
I think Lincoln was just like unity
or
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's like 7 years ago. Our forefathers did something.
Our forefathers took us on a most excellent adventure.
I get pissed off when the political people are in the parade, regardless of which side it is, because either I have to hear my very conservative, bordering on bigoted and racist family members yell at the Democrats, or I get to see them cheer the Republicans, and I kind of just don't want to have either, because like my complaining about America aside earlier, like I do like the country and I do kind of like this holiday, and I kind of like holidays in general because I feel like it's a time when me and my family could theoretically get together and not bitch about all of our differences, except that is what happens.
See, well, here's my theory.
And fucking politicians in the parade make it worse.
Here's my theory about like why people like Trump, and not just Trump. People like Trump are have certain people's ear. It's like we've been in a recession since 2008.
Yeah.
And things have been improving.
Right.
Mostly for people that are college educated.
Yes.
People that are not college educated are either in the same place they were back in 2008 when the recession started, or they're just either slightly better or worse off.
Right.
And so all of us that are saying that, the country's getting better and things are fine and things are evening out, these people aren't seeing that.
Right.
And so, some blowhard idiot is going, and everybody's like, wow, that guy's speaking the truth.
That guy is speaking the truth. He tells it like it is.
Yes. And
I went. My cousin had a baby 3-4 months ago, and the baby has a interestingly spelled, differently spelled first name. And my mother was texting back and forth with another party in our family because this person had bought a baby present for the new baby, and I was on my phone trying to get the spelling of the baby's name and
text correctly
so that we could text it correctly. And in the process of trying to find the baby's name, I had to scroll past and I guess I'd not seen these because maybe I've just hit show me fewer Trump things, or maybe I've unsubscribed.
Show me fewer Trump things.
Or maybe I've unsubscribed from this person altogether on Facebook. But I'm scrolling through, and among the Trump support things that my cousin had on her page was a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin, in like vintage Stone Cold, on the ropes with middle fingers in the air, black leather vest on, with, can I get a hell yeah for Trump? Like that was one of the things that I scrolled past on my cousin and I sat down next to each other. We were talking about at the thing later on today. We were talking about how she used to play and like to beat the crap out of me. She's about she's like 14 or 15 years younger than me. She's far younger than me. So she was a little kid when I was like 13, 14 years old, and I loved playing with her and my cousin. And we had good times, and now we've grown apart, and we have vastly different positions on the political spectrum. And to your point, I am college educated, maybe overeducated, and as far as I know, she is not. And maybe that is part of what's going on.
I think the problem exists in our world is that there needs to be a place for people without a college education.
For sure.
And that's not...
There should be a much bigger place, and this is coming from somebody who teaches college. It's outside of the... it's outside of the realm of affordability for a lot of people, and unless that problem gets solved, there's a lot of people who just financially speaking shouldn't go to college.
Yeah, because if you go, especially if you go to a university that like Trump University, that's incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
and is basically just a money laundering scam, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Just like he allegedly raped a child at some point.
What?
There was something out this week, and I saw it floating around on Facebook, on Twitter. From friends saying, "Why isn't this being covered?" There was, I think it was child sexual abuse charges filed against Trump that nobody is talking about. The
problem is, like,
allegedly
we need to have I don't want to say low skill, but just like we need to have positions that pay a decent wage, like for people that are not college educated. Those, like, a better job needs to exist for someone in that position, because not everybody can go to college, and we need to have those jobs. And that is not the responsibility of our government to do so. It's a responsibility of the businesses out there that need to make a slight bit less profit, and so we can have more fucking jobs.
I agree. I don't know. Should we talk about something other than politics?
I don't know. Fuck it. It's America.
Why the new child rape case filed against Donald Trump should not be ignored. I'll put that in the show notes, which for this episode will be clarkwoods.com/hot/101.
Okay, so let's not talk about that.
Let's not
change
talk about
the subject.
it. If
You had a joke you wanted to tell me.
I did have a joke. So I don't know. I was reading. I've been reading this book of short stories called "Get in Trouble" by Kelly Link, and there is there's a joke in here that I came across in the first or second story, and it. How does the character describe it afterwards? It's a moderately funny joke. It might be a come on. Is the way that it was described, and I actually laughed out loud at this joke. And
LOL'd?
I LOL'd, and I wanted to see. This was my note to myself in the show notes for this episode, the prep notes that nobody sees for this episode.
So, like, hold on a second before you go and tell the joke.
Yes.
Like, LOL is one of those things that sort of started in the instant messaging,
AIM, I believe,
instant
or
messaging
YIM.
days, and has sort of developed into the lexicon.
Yes, LOL.
But like, what kind of fell to the wayside, like of those sort of acronyms or whatnot?
Oh, what ones aren't around anymore?
Yeah, like what don't we use?
Oh, LMAO.
No one uses LMAO.
I don't think so. I think LOL. See, LOL gets used a lot because a lot gets lost in conversation in texting, and LOL I think is the equivalent of like a smiley face or whatever to let somebody know, oh, I'm just kidding, or oh, I'm laughing a little bit, or but it's become, oh, I'm laughing like a little bit, not like I'm laughing out loud, which is
like
what it means.
which acronyms?
Raffle.
Rafflecopters.
Raffle. There was a conference that was held at least twice, I think, in or around Boston and Cambridge. That was the RaffleCon.
It was just rolling on the floor laughing.
It was a convention, I think, like for video makers in the early days of YouTube, maybe. It was RaffleCon, and they were that was a thing. I don't think Raffle's used all that much anymore. LMAO. I think there's Raffle LMAO.
What about like things that started post instant messaging and like things that we use exclusively through text?
Retired texting lingo.
No, not retired. Like these are ones that we exclusively use through text, but we didn't use back in the AIM days.
Back in AIM
you remember
days.
ASL?
Yeah, no. Advanced Idea Mechanics.
No, ASL.
Oh, ASL.
Do you remember?
Age, sex, language.
Location.
Location. Oh,
Jesus.
Language doesn't matter.
It
will matter when Trump builds the wall.
You were an internet Romeo in the mid to late 90s.
Yes, as we are all
You
well
have
aware.
to be familiar with that because,
ASL, I do remember that.
And
American Sign Language.
which is based more on French Sign Language than British Sign Language.
Oh, I did not
Look
know.
it up.
Oh, I did not know that. Age, sex, language. Yes, that was an AIM one though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was you're not texting your friends how
ASL.
old are you and where are you? Like, how old are you? What's your gender?
And that's not the sort of thing that you would text on like a Tinder or something like that because
everything's posted there.
Yeah, your picture would be there.
Although
ASL is exclusively like a texting lingo thing.
Well,
right.
it wouldn't be. No, it would be more instant messaging if you were if you're in a chat room or something.
But
like
a
that.
text-based thing. You wouldn't need ASL if it weren't for the anonymity.
Well, what about like if the person is trans?
Presents a problem, right?
Yeah. So maybe it should be listed if they want to identify as that. Or what if the person is a male and wants to identify as a female?
Do trans people use Tinder? I wonder.
I don't know.
That's an interesting.
If you're a trans person and you listen to the show, I'm sorry for all the comments I've probably made over the years.
Well, and then I wonder.
But also, let us know what if you use Tinder.
As somebody who's never opened Tinder, I wonder if there is if the gender options on Tinder are binary or if there are more options.
Well, Tinder, I think is I don't know because I was going there was a point where I'm like, I'll give this a shot. And then I realized that you needed to have a Facebook to do it.
Oh, right.
And so I said, the hell with that.
Yeah. No.
And so I didn't. So if you look at my download history, because I apparently
on the App Store.
Apparently the App Store never
App Store doesn't forget.
Yeah, it never forgets that you did something like that.
What happens, the App Store does not stay in the App Store.
At least I didn't download Grindr. What the fuck was I saying?
ASL. You were talking about the lingo from texting or whatever that we use. And this was all before I tell my joke.
Yes, well, you can tell your joke. I need to go get my phone.
You have to go get your phone. But see, the whole point of me telling the joke is to see whether or not I can get Steve to laugh. And of course, if Steve laughed halfway across the room, I don't know if that would.
Jesus Christ!
I'm
not having beers today because I had plenty of beers over the weekend.
Yeah. There was some alcohol around, including some Mike's Hard lemonade.
That gives me the worst heartburn ever.
It doesn't agree well with me either. But there are very few things that I can drink in great enough measure to get myself drunk. There was some wine around too. I almost had a whole bunch of these things. Instead, I had 2 hamburgers, a sweet Italian sausage. It was sweet. It was sweet. I love me some sweet Italian sausage.
So before you tell the joke, I gotta address something.
Okay.
Because of last week's show.
This is follow-up.
This is follow-up from last week's show.
From last week.
We got a Twitter message from the Bit Bar.
We did. I forgot about this. I remember it now, But yes, last week we talked about the Bit Bar, which was a place that Steve visited, and you, as I recall, did not have the most positive experience with the pinball part of it.
Yes. So I mean, I probably just jumped the gun. I mean, I had we didn't really have a conversation, but they did say we're working on it. We're gonna and they act like. I guess we just talked to the complete wrong guy when we were there.
Yeah.
And everybody apparently loves the Arcadia National Bar, which I had mentioned before on the show. And so I sent them a little message back that said, because they listened to our show.
They listened to our show.
They must have listened to it in its entirety, because I think we talked about the Bit Bar later.
Yeah. I mean, they could have used the show notes to follow along and realized,
approximately where. But I think they may have listened to. So
and if you're listening again, thank you.
No, well, I just want to say I did. This is what I sent them a message for. Thanks for listening to our show and concerns. We're cranky and old, and we appreciate you taking the time. And I'll say, and I ran out of room, so I said "Wheel B," and I had to use the B emoticon. Back 4, the number 4, more fun. Because I'm a dinkhead.
It's not a dinkhead to use the B. People like their emoticons.
So, well, no, I mean like the
emoji.
I'd rather have used the word B. Only I was like, seriously, I needed to cut.
You needed to cut
one more character to fit it into a tweet. So I appreciate the folks at the Bit Bar getting back to us, and I'm not joking. I will go back and we'll
like the Avengers.
This was the first week that they were open, so obviously it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah, there are kinks to work out.
I fell victim to what I yell about sometimes is people getting mad about stuff on the internet.
Yeah, you didn't get mad about you.
I don't like Paul Reiser.
Do you like Kelvin Hunt?
I'm indifferent, but
okay.
But yeah, we can get into. Actually, I don't know if we can get into it on a different day, because I'm not exactly sure why I don't like Paul Reiser.
Okay, well, fair enough. Enough said.
So so in that I'm well researched into me not liking him.
It's that he should have been Judd Hirsch's kid and not Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day.
What? No. So yeah, I appreciate them, and this is something that I rarely genuinely do.
Yes.
I apologize for my initial, crappiness about the place, and I'm going to go back, and it's probably going to be great. So. Yeah.
Well, I think
it was just like the level of excitement for it that I had was very high.
Right.
And so I shouldn't have gone to the first week.
Yeah, you went in expecting like second week, second month kind of level of quality, and it was just, they had just launched.
And I was, I was setting the bar pretty high, because Arcadia National Bar is like, I have so much fun and have lost so many brain cells from that place. So I was setting the bar to there, and so how could I expect somebody or just a group of people to have that level immediately after opening, and it's unreasonable. So I will be back, and we'll talk about it more in the future, I'd imagine. So I'm laying it out there. I'm not without fault. I do make mistakes, and I gotta get rid of this clicky pen.
A minute or so, I think, is that the first genuine apology?
I think I might have done a little half-assed BS apology, but I'm not doing a Don Imus here.
No,
I'm sorry that I said that.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I guess my Don Imus sounds like Bill Clinton.
No, it did. No. A couple minutes ago. In the middle of that conversation, I think I made the assumption that an emoticon and an emoji are the same thing, and I'm not sure that they are. I think that might be more like a font typeface situation. And I'm curious if there's anybody out there who knows what the difference between an emoticon and an emoji
we're reaching out to you guys this week, because we want some fucking feedback.
We want some answers.
That's beyond Brian and Leo having email battles.
Although those are fine too.
Yeah, they are also fine. You guys please continue emailing us. It's great, and we find it hilarious.
We are the intermediaries between this internet war.
I want.
We are the Judge Wapner deciding
Wow.
I heard
What?
today, I don't know who tweeted this or whatever, that the theme song for what is Judge Wapner's show? People's Court? That the theme song for the People's Court was plagiarized from the threesome scene in is it Debbie Does Dallas, or it's like in some famous 70s porno.
But like, who would want to fuck to dun dun dun?
People in the 70s with Big Bush.
I guess so.
Big Bush and a lot of cocaine. My dick's all shitty. No, wait.
That was Starship.
But in my head I was imagining Mark Wahlberg doing the song from the Transformers soundtrack, but that became Starship, and my dick's all, I don't know.
If your dick is all shitty, I'm glad when I cross my fingers I can make a barrier. Because I don't want your shitty dick anywhere near me.
So there was this joke.
Oh, yeah, you're going to tell me the joke?
There was a joke. In this,
Finally, I've been waiting for it all day.
In this story called I Can See Right Through You from Kelly Link's collection Get in Trouble.
It has a picture of an upside down house.
Of an upside down house on the front.
It confuses and befuddles me.
Yes, it's a. I think she's playing with the magical realism. I believe is what she's playing with, Ms. Link or Mrs. Link, as you were. All right. So I'm just going to tell you the joke. All right. So there are these 4 guys: a kleptomaniac, a pyromaniac, a zoophile, and a masochist.
Hold on. Zoophile. Mm-hmm. Someone who fucks animals?
You're ruining the joke.
Oh. I was just confused.
No.
You want to cut that part out?
No. No, that's perfect. How many times have I ruined your jokes? Yeah. This is me trying to get me. I finally find a joke. I'm like, you know what? I can be the comedian for one day.
All right, do it. Hold on. Sorry, I won't interrupt again. I'll let you tell your joke.
All right, so there are these 4 guys: a kleptomaniac, a pyromaniac, a zoophile, and a masochist. This cat walks by, and the klepto says he'd like to steal it. The pyro says he wants to set it on fire. The zoophile wants to fuck it. So the masochist, he looks at everybody, and he says, meow?
Oh. Because he wants to be stolen, fucked, and burned. Because he's a masochist. I get it.
I thought it was a funny joke. The follow-up line, this is, I can't remember, the protagonist is not that impressed. Page 60, right? Yeah, the protagonist is not impressed. The protagonist narrator says, it's a moderately funny joke. It might be a come-on.
I don't know about the come-on part.
Well, I mean, based on the rest of the context, it might have been a come-on. But I just thought it was a funny joke. I was like, it
is funny.
I like a good joke, you know. But
I like me a good joke.
I like me a good joke.
So okay, so you went to. It's the 4th of July.
Pile my food in a fucking bowl.
Oh no. Okay, well you missed the reference I made, and so I guess that's another one.
I'm just doing the whole bit out of order. You know, I did the lunch gun part.
Oh,
like
okay.
20 minutes ago.
Okay, I missed that one. So if I miss it, you guys have to drink double, I think. And if Christmas is the One Piece reference,
yes,
you have to drink double.
Yes.
Although if you can't identify it as a One Piece reference,
how are you supposed to know how to drink?
Well, if I'm saying something really odd that seems really out of place, then it's a good chance that that's me trying to shoehorn it in because it doesn't fit in naturally.
If I'm saying something odd that doesn't feel out of place, that's just me trying to be funny.
Oh, okay. Or stealing from Patton Oswalt. But you went to the parade, like Chelmsford, our hometown,
Chelmsford Parade,
our fair city.
Our fair city. Yes, I went to the parade, and as I mentioned before, there were some politicians. Not as many as there have been in previous years. I was looking at my Time Hop app, and I tweeted at least a few years ago that I was sick of all the politicians at the parade.
Well, you know, like there was other people in the parade.
There were
that we could talk about.
There were, and one of the more interesting bits was there's a Rod Stewart impersonator. There's a Rod Stewart impersonator who has been...
You don't need to tell jokes. You just need to tell me things like that.
That has been coming to the parade for a number of years. And this year, where my family has always gone, because don't be creepy, but like the road that our road is off of spills out is closer to the end of the parade route than the beginning. So we're always near the end. We're past the reviewing stand. The thing that I did not realize when I was a kid that I do realize now as an adult is that we are so close to the end of the parade where we stand that all the people marching in the parade are completely burnt out, and they can see from where we are standing where the parking lot that their buses are in. They are just ready to go home.
It's funny, actually, that you mentioned Don't Be Creepy, but one of my friends recently started listening to the show, and he started at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's like... I think because he doesn't know that you moved or anything.
Right.
He's like, I think I know where Chris lives.
But he hasn't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, no, he hasn't gotten to the part where he. But he was wrong. I figured out where
he thought I lived.
He was the one across the street.
I'm good at the misdirection.
Yeah.
So the Rod Stewart guy, he's not. Totally no. He's like to the middle to the end of the parade, and we didn't stay to the very end. My kids were getting a little
constipated.
Hot, a little constipated, yeah. So the Rod Stewart guy.
Plus, it's early in the morning too, right?
Well, I mean, it's in order. Here's the thing: it starts at 10 o'clock, about 3 miles. No, like at least like 3 kilometers, like 5 kilometers up the road. Because I think the morning.
What are we? The metric system?
The reason I bring that up, I think there's a road race in the morning, and I think it's a 5K. So 3 miles, 5 kilometers, whatever.
Yeah.
Up the road is where the parade starts. Why was I bringing that up?
Because Rod Stewart.
Anyway, so they're very close to the end. So you asked me about how hot it was in the morning. Or how early it is in the morning.
How hot was it?
It was 101 episodes hot. No, so you have to get there at like 10 o'clock, which is when the parade starts, like 3 miles up the road. So you have to get there at 10 o'clock just to get a seat. And by that point, you're getting kind of a shitty seat.
I mean, there's people that will, like, the parade takes place on North Road, which is Route 4. Mm-hmm. It starts at the middle school. Goes down all the way down North Road through the center of town and into a parking lot where I used to work at a grocery store. Across the street from the library. It used to be Purity Supreme, but then became Stop and Shop, and then became...
now it became a Dunkin' Donuts and a fancy restaurant and a couple of other things. And the Marshalls next door is now a gym.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart. Rich Lattimore? I don't know what the fuck his name. It's not actually Rod Stewart, but at any rate, so
Rich Lattimore? Is that Rod Stewart's real name?
It might be his real name. I'll see if I can find him.
Okay.
Link him in the show notes. See if he's on Twitter. We can shout him out.
And maybe be like, "Why are you guys such dicks to my impersonator?"
He can tell us the true story behind what I'm about to say, which is really fucking. All right. So,
or are you talking about the impersonator?
Yeah, the impersonator.
Yeah, okay.
He might, like, if he's on Twitter, or he might tell one of his people to listen to the show, and then they'll hear this anecdote, and they'll be like, hey, hold on.
I did not do what you just said I did.
I did not fuck the Elvis impersonator.
I did not run over a fucking dog. How am I supposed to go into this fucking parade after a goddamn death tribute about a fucking dog 2 weeks in a row?
Do you see? I found the YouTube video. I put that in the show notes of him doing. It's not video of him, but it's the audio laid over a picture of it. Oh, it's hilarious. At any rate, so towards the end of the parade route where we are, there is what when there's a parade looks like a fork in the road. It's a rotary. And the parade just naturally goes down the wrong side of the road. If there were actually traffic flowing through, of course, traffic stopped because it's a parade. So that the parade is going, from their perspective, along to the left. Rod Stewart, the impersonator, goes along the road to the left and stops to pose for a picture with one of the ladies sitting nearby. Ladies. Sometimes I've seen him multiple times on this parade. Sometimes he goes and purposefully poses with one of the older ladies.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy.
Yeah. Sometimes
I should do Rod Stewart in karaoke.
You should. You know what? You might give this guy a run for his money.
I will not. There was this homeless guy that used to do Rod Stewart songs on Opie and Anthony. Rest in peace, Tippy Tom. We miss you. You had endless amounts of comic gold. If you ever want to hear a homeless guy have impeccable comic timing, find some of those clips on YouTube or something.
Tippy Tom.
Of Tippy Tom on Opie and Anthony, like him getting his rectal exam. Like it was legit. Like he was actually getting checked out because like they were concerned about his health because he was homeless.
How many rectal references can we get into one?
But this was like for medicine, for Christ's sake.
So Rod Stewart is heading down the left-hand side of the road, and he stops to hug a girl. And unbeknownst to Rod Stewart, his truck starts going down the right-hand side of the road, the right-hand side of this rotary, which if it was actual traffic, that's the way you would go. But the entire crowd all around me sees this happening. We start yelling at them, "You're going the wrong way," which of course they could have realized if they looked where their own guy was going. Their own guy.
Yeah, he was too busy being sexy.
He was too busy being sexy with the ladies. So the truck stops, starts to back up. And then all of a sudden, there's this moment of panic, and everyone's going, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Behind him is some sort of charity that helps veterans with iPods and iPads and stuff like that, but also with dogs. I think it's like a multi. I might be conflating two things here.
Are they dogs with iPads on them?
Dogs with iPads on them. They're cyborg dogs.
Nice. Shoot a beam out of his eye.
And one of these cyborg dogs is really great at catching a frisbee, and that cyborg dog is coming up pretty close to where the truck is backing up. And I think what they're worried about is that the Rod Stewart truck, is about to kill a dog in front of hundreds of innocent...
Dozens of
innocent children are about to see a beautiful dog, get run over by Rod Stewart's truck. And luckily that did not happen.
Hooray!
They backed up just enough. The whole parade came to a screeching halt so that they could then go down the right side of the road.
Correct side of the road.
The correct side of the road, which was the left side of the road. And everything proceeded swimmingly until the next person did that about 20 minutes later, and that person just kept going. One of the antique.
They ran over the dog?
They did not. They did not. No, but they did go down the wrong side of the street, which, it was just one car, and it was one of the antique cars, and he's so close to the end that you figure it's probably okay. He's probably just going home. But when there were like 3 or 4 cops on bicycles, not that they were going to do anything about it, because they're on bicycles. Why are there cops on bicycles?
Well, in certain
areas,
like a park.
Yes,
that's a perfect place for a
cop on a bicycle.
Yeah,
but
like a parade. I don't know. Maybe a parade. Yeah, because there's a lot of people on foot.
Right.
So
sure. Yeah. Okay.
Easier to catch somebody on foot if you're on a bicycle as opposed to a motor vehicle.
Yeah. Easier,
especially with the heavy.
Easier to catch a frisbee if you're a dog who hasn't just been crushed by Rod Stewart's machine.
It's much easier to catch a frisbee if your dog is alive.
Later on, there was an Elvis impersonator, and my older daughter turned to me. Now, this was an Elvis impersonator doing late period Elvis, so not a lot of
like clam bake.
But my older daughter turns to me, and just seeing this really old man with obviously like a hairpiece in like a gold lame suit, and she turned to me and she said, "I'm so scarred right now." It was adorable because she probably was scarred by it. It was not a very good Elvis impersonator.
He wasn't shaking his hips.
Well, no, he was kind of just up there, kind of be an old guy who liked Elvis.
There's another great YouTube.
Are there any
clip.
other kinds?
There's a great, I think it's on YouTube, of like Elvis, latter day Elvis, just over
title.
the Church of Latter-day Elvis.
That was better. Now it's complete. He's singing. I forget what song he was singing, but there's like a guy that was like with thinning hair in the front row, and he just starts laughing hysterically about this guy, this bald guy in the front row. Yeah, because like the part of the song was like saying that now you have no hair or something like that, and he like it's that level of glee. That makes me have faith in humanity. Like someone could be that tickled just by some bald dude in the front row of his show that he's just laughing at or whatever. That makes me happy. Yeah. That like someone can feel that much joy. I am always glad.
I'm an eternal pessimist apparently, but like every once in a while they got a shining gem is dangled in front of me, and I'm like, maybe the human race isn't a pile of garbage.
I'm just always glad to find out that somebody is filled with joy when a bald man tickles them. You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkworth.com/hot/101.
101.
And if you'd like to comment on anything we've said today by email, you can do that at hot@clarkwoods.com.
And you can find me via the Twitters. I am at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser. All one word.
You can find me on the Twitters at ECC1977. That's all one word too.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do next month when there's a holiday? No.
Fuck. There's no more.
There's no holidays in August.
No.
Well, we should just make my birthday.
You should make your birthday
a national holiday.
Well, you know what? In August it is National Hot Day, right? Yes, International Hot Day. The anniversary of this show is in August.
Yes, the anniversary of this show, and it's also when your balls are sticking to your leg the most.